last week we touched on the discussion why feminist women prey on weak men. Apparently, last week there was a feminist woman in the house, and she didn't hesitate to show how unhappy she was. According to her, how she thinks we were misogynistic. Well, according to Yoruba adage, a kì í wá ariwo ọjà ẹni tá bá ń bá nájà là ń wò. That is, na person wey we dey buy market from with the face, no be the noise wey dey come out of the market. But that didn't stop us from making weak men or men in general understand the antics and to be able to identify the manipulative measures at which these feminist women use on weak men. And how to be mentally strong also to be able to stay ahead of the game. As you know, the game is the game board. To my new design formation of the whole studio, right now, both are on my right now. To my right now is who? Oriyomi Gabriel.
It's nice to be back.
To the far right too.
Good afternoon. My name is Jare.
So the new episode is why dealing with women in the workplace. Oriyomi, what's your take on dealing with women in the workplace? What's your experience so far?
I've had both positive and negative experiences.
Okay.
I've worked with really amazing women
Okay.
who were really very great colleagues. And I've also worked with people generally. We work with some great people, we work with some not so great people. So and then when you say working with somebody in the workplace, it also depends on, are you working with them as colleagues? Are they your subordinates or are they your boss? All these dynamics gives it different how do I put it now? It makes it different. The way you deal with the colleague is different from the way you deal with the boss. And it's definitely different with the way you deal with somebody that is your subordinate. So that's it.
Jai, how about you? What has been your experience so far dealing with women in the workplace?
It has been quite an experience. Like Yomi said, there is the good, the bad, and the ugly, of course. And the good thing is I've had a very fantastic female boss, and I've had a wicked female boss. So I think I've experienced both sides, and I've been able to realize that they are necessary devils. While sometimes you get on your nerves, there are some attitudes and some behaviors, you also need them to balance things up, sort of. So it's not something that is in plain black and white. You get? There's a good side to it and there's the other side to it. So
From what you just said now, I think you are trying to focus more on the gray area. See?
Not necessarily the gray area. Let me just say I'm just trying to find a balance.
No, you are just trying to sit on the fence again.
No, I'm not.
You are just trying to sit on the fence again.
Okay, now this is it. I'm the kind of person that I give people chances, and I always leave room for human errors, and I always leave room to give people another chance. Maybe what happened initially was a mistake. So it's not necessarily sitting on the fence. It's me just being open-minded, not completely ruling out someone or something. I'm always open-minded to situations. It does not mean that when I experience the bad side, I will not give you back. Of course, I'm always ready. Fire for fire. But then, it is what it is. It cannot be a masculine work environment will be boring when it gets to a point. A masculine work environment where there are no females at all, just men. Yeah, the work might go, the vibe will be there, but then to get to some aspects of it, especially the social part, to get boring, you always need, we call it soft copy, you always need that soft part to come to play. So
Gabriel, from your experience, Would you prefer working with a man and working with a woman? Like which
I
gives you
prefer
like
working
the
with a man.
you prefer working with
With a man.
a man?
But I can work with a woman.
What about you?
If I have to choose, well, let me clarify this. Um, Gender is not the major focus, right? You have to be. I'll just say this, that I'm making all my statements in this episode with the understanding that I'm not saying that if a woman is more qualified, I will just say that she can't do the work because she's a woman. I'm setting that one first because people can be funny. So it is not about choosing somebody because of their gender. Do you understand? It is about choosing somebody because of personal preference, which eventually might not come to play. Right? But if I have a man and I have a woman that have the same quality,
Equal competence.
the same competence, they are both fit for the job. There are several reasons that might make me depend, and it also depends on the role, right? But generally, there are several reasons that might make me tend towards working with a man. The first reason is because of availability.
Okay.
Men are generally more available.
Okay.
It is easy for a man to change plans, switch from this to this, adapt. You get?
Mm-hmm.
For example, if you are working a role that involves a lot of travel, a lot of and not even planned travel, you get a role that requires that in the back of your car you have to put shirts there, so that from Lagos you can get to work. I work the role like that, and you can get to work on Monday, and they'll just tell you that you're going to Aba. Such roles we are all guys in the team. We're all guys, and it was not because there were no competent women. Competent women came into that team, and they begged or they asked to be transferred to another department, because it was that kind of environment where you don't have plans. You are not sure you go. Do you understand? So if I want to work in that kind of field where it's very fast paced, there's no guarantee, you have to adapt. You can get to Aba now. It's only one room that you are seeing now. All the hotels are booked. So generally,
All the guys can stay in one room.
all the guys can stay in one room. So I'm speaking from my own experience in such roles, right? I'll definitely work with the guy. In fact, if it involves travel, I'm not even going to if it involves travel and I can pick, I'll work with the guy.
What about you, Jai? Between a guy or a man and a woman, whom do you prefer working with?
Okay. Like you said, I also prefer to work with a man.
Even with
Now,
equal competence.
yes, I'll
Okay, let's say the woman has more competence than the man, but you know that you can easily push this man to do what you need and get results done.
Then they are no longer
They are not
equal.
equal.
The man has become superior.
Okay.
So okay, let me explain this. Now, there are reasons why I as a person would have issues with working with women. And some of the issues are that, one, you cannot be brutally honest without them being emotional.
It's inevitable.
I'm the kind of person that once you do something that I'm not comfortable with, I'll tell you instantly that I don't like this. This is not how I want to work. I want this thing done this way, this way, this way. Now, I'm also the kind of person that I have a loud voice when I'm angry. A woman will see it as me being
Bossy or mean.
mean. But a guy would understand that
Fuck up no.
because usually, even when we are joking, sometimes my voice tends to go higher than the other people. So a woman might not sit well with a woman because they always feel once you raise your voice, you're
trying to talk down on them.
It's beyond that now. In the way the world is now, once you even raise your voice like that, They will tell you have tendencies to beat your
If
girlfriend.
he shouts at you, you can.
Well, if he shouts at you, you can beat him. Those are the kind of
wokeism.
those are the kind of statements you can. So I'm sure a guy will not assume that because I'm angry and I'm raising my voice at him in that moment, I can beat him. You will know that it is just because you did something that was not okay and I'm complaining about it. It happened few weeks ago at my place of work. And now the thing is, beyond the fact that you are not able to be brutally honest with women, I also hate the fact that they tend to pretend among themselves, not to guys, among themselves. There's always this idea that you see two women at the same workplace. Oh, I love your hair. Oh, your nails look so beautiful. Then when the other person turns around, with cheap nails.
Oh my, you must lẹ́yìn.
Bóyá àwọn tó máa polówó nails yẹn lọ́wọ́ ṣe kán náà 500. Àbúrò owó ẹ̀ bó she looks cheap. Look at her bag. That bag is 5,000 naira. It's cheap. I mean, how is that your business? Is that
I think that's their competitiveness among themselves. That's the way they.
Is that why we are here? That's not the reason you are here now. Just do your work and just let things go. Also, the most important part, the part I have issues with the most, is the fact that they always want to use your masculinity. Now, this is what I mean.
Weaponize the competence.
Yes, weaponize the incompetence.
No, weaponize your own competence.
No,
No,
they
they
weaponize,
weaponize their own
own
incompetence.
incompetence.
Okay, just because they are women.
Yes. Okay, let me take for example.
Incompetence.
Our Oga tells us, oh, you guys, I brought a fridge. It's in my boots downstairs. I need you guys to get the fridge upstairs now. The woman will take several steps back. They will expect you as the guy to go and do it. Now, I'm talking from a position where you guys are on the same grade, you earn the same salary. You are given an assignment that involves physicality. The woman will tell you she's just a woman. You are the man. You are supposed to be stronger. So you are supposed to do this work. Then when the soft work comes in, the work that will require very minimal efforts and strong rewards, they want to push themselves in front of you. That is where I have serious issues. I can deal with you not accepting brutal honesty, because whether you accept it or not, I will still say it. I don't care about how you feel after it, but I will still say my mind. I can deal with you saying stuff about your other female colleagues, but what I cannot deal with is we are on the same salary, we do the same job, and when there is a time for the two of us for everybody to do their job, we start cherry picking what you want to do. No, it does not work that way. Everybody has to work for their salary.
Or maybe
you have to do your work.
Maybe there's a, in my own experience, what he's saying is that we all came to work back. All of us, nobody wants to go late. I also want to go late. You also want to go late. Now, there's a task that has made us stay longer. I also have kids. You also have kids.
My wife is also working.
My wife is also working.
Your husband too is working.
Do you understand? Because of the social construct of the country, I understand that maybe you have to do school runs, you have to go pick up your kids. It is understandable.
I'm also a responsible father. I want to
but
pick up.
It is not a genuine. It is on, like I was saying, some things can be understandable. It doesn't make it genuine. This is work. I don't care. It may sound wicked though. I don't care about your children. I don't care that they are in school.
It's not in our contract.
I don't care that.
It's not my business that you have a family.
Do you understand? Honestly, in the workplace, I don't care. The issue is that the job has to be done. Let me do my work. You do your work. So, in that regard, and like you were saying, Siba, it majorly depends on the role, right? Because of my own experience, I've majorly worked in roles that involved a lot of physicality. and a lot of travel, and I don't enjoy it when I work with women. Because another problem is that my own major concern, what I've seen in my experience, is that adaptability. You get, if it's an office role where we all sit down, we come to work 8 to 5, we don't go anywhere, we just handle files, maybe. But in a role that requires adaptability, you just have to
Without short notice, you have to do things.
See, like you said, that is where they will rely on your masculinity, because they will think, I can't do this. This is like not a female role. Not considering the pay behind it. You guys are paid the same salary.
Nothing concerns.
So that is where they actually like capitalize on your masculinity.
If we undo the workplace, one of the things that I've realized is that, again, because of the social structure, we are very familiar in our workplaces in Nigeria. In most workplaces, we are friends. You tell me about your kids. You tell me about, you are planning your birthday. You invite me and all that. So it makes it a very funny dynamic. But in the real sense of it, it is none of my business that you are a woman.
I mean, it is already unfair that you are pregnant and you have to go on maternity leave for 3 months out of 12 months while you are receiving salary. I'm at work. I'm only giving 2 weeks paternity leave. It is already unfair. Now, again, I'm not putting into consideration your emotions. You are a woman, you are pregnant. That is the business of your husband.
It does not affect work.
It's not my own business. As a business person, I'm not the CEO in this case. I'm not the HR in this case. I'm just a common worker like you. It is not supposed to be my business. We earn the same salary. So it is already unfair that you give birth, they give you 3 months, while still on regular pay, you still get all the benefits. My wife gives birth, I'm giving 2 weeks to resume. Most likely, I might not even use my leave, because sometimes there are times that my leave has to run into the next year before I take them. So I might not even have to use my leave, because of course I will always be present.
Have you worked with a man whose wife just gave birth?
The multitasking is crazy.
It's crazy.
No, actually, I don't have experience working with women. You guys have more experience working with women than me, so I don't know.
Whose wife
He will
just
be
gave birth?
receiving calls and doing his work.
I'm serious. You will have really pity for the man, because I had a colleague there who his wife gave birth, and they didn't even give him 2 weeks is a luxury.
I think they just started the 2 weeks.
Go and do your name.
So before it was how many weeks?
No, you are not giving.
Wow.
The only
might
day
just
they will
have to
give you
leave.
is, my wife is in the hospital, I have to go.
go.
You will go. Then maybe on the day of your naming. Some
You'll be
people
excused.
some people will come to work on the day
They
of
are
their naming.
naming.
They will leave early. The man. Now, this is where it gets.
Wait, does it involve both private parastatal and government parastatal, or just?
There's nothing like.
There is nothing like paternity with government. I've never seen.
Are you
I've
serious?
never heard anybody
It's
go
strictly
on
private.
paternity.
You
Yes.
will come to work.
And it's even not because of all this new.
And do you know why it's crazy?
revolution.
It's crazy because this man would not sleep at home. Now, this is it. The wife would claim that you've gone to work, I've been with the baby all day. Now you are back. Take the baby.
Sure,
Over
automatically.
the night, you are responsible for the baby.
Over the
Definitely.
night, this man is responsible for the baby. You understand?
She is
Waking
sleeping.
up, the woman definitely has to sleep.
The next day he has to go
Now,
to work.
the man has to wake up and he comes to. This my colleague was drained. You understand? If you leave him for 5 minutes, he will sleep off. So anytime we are going on, we used to call it recollection then. So anytime we are going on recollection duties to check products and all that, once we enter the car like this, once he closes the door,
He's sleeping.
he's going to sleep.
So any opportunity he has,
Any
he's
chance he
sleeping.
gets to sleep, he sleeps. And apart from that, the mental task, you understand, they are calling him for, and it's basically money. You know, people underrate, they say it's just money you are bringing.
Yeah,
Baba, bring the money, come and see how
If
it
it's
is.
easy, bring that money.
You understand? The man can be having
No, they know it's not easy. They know it's not easy. They can't do
having
it.
a good day, boys dey gist, a good day, and the call will just come. Like this, and he will just transfer money, and you will see him deflate. Upon all
Money
this,
where I don't get budget. For.
It's like 50% of his battery just goes.
yes, you will visibly see him deflate. Upon all that, he has to come to work. Now when he gets to work, nobody's giving him any slack.
They won't even remember that he has a new
do
baby.
his job.
Nobody will remember
Nobody's
that he
cutting
has
him
a
any
baby.
slack. Now in this same scenario, the woman will go to work, take 3 months, come back and still get slack.
Hold on. About that slack now, there are some organizations that even when you resume the next 3 months, you are only doing half day.
They still get slack. Even after a year, they still get slack. And people, women with children, it's not like I'm hating them, right?
No, it's not 8. It's just telling you the way it is.
You get, they get
Just
a lot of
telling you the way it
slack.
is.
And if the conversation is about the realities of women, then maybe we can explain these slacks, we can justify it, we can try to empathize, because I'm not a woman. Like I always see, I cannot feel what the woman is feeling. The best I can do for you is empathy, right? But the conversation is about the workplace, and in the workplace, your pregnancy, your kids, your family
It's just your business.
is your business.
It's not.
That's strictly from a man's angle.
From
Not
any
from
angle,
any angle, from business.
But
it's
still,
your business.
but still, even with that, if you're a man working like private parastatal,
Yeah.
okay, like Diana where he works, do you think if a woman will actually face the same street guidance or street rules like you are being told to face?
If I start to talk.
No, that is why we are here now. Talk. You have to talk now. That's
Now,
why we are here.
Okay, now let me start from here. One of the things that gets me angry, one of the things I mentioned a few earlier. Another thing that gets me angry is transfer. I work in an environment where
Yeah, transfer.
you can be transferred easily within short notice. Now, one thing I have noticed is that they hardly ever want to move women into some places, like locations that are considered
Hostile.
1. hostile, 2. villages, 3. places that are very very distant from town.
A remote area,
Remote
extremely
areas.
remote areas.
They will barely transfer women to those places. They will be rotating them within the city.
But what if that the man is married? Does it come into
It
consideration?
does not. But for the woman, even if they move you to that place and you get married today, you have a right to send your wedding IV to the HR that you are getting married, your husband works in so place. You need
Is
consideration.
that hypergamy?
You need
Is that
Yeah, it's part of it.
Let me finish.
It's part of
you
it.
need
Like
consideration for them to transfer you, and you will get
I
it.
think it's hypergamy.
But as a man, it does not even come to play. Nobody cares.
Because in that instant,
Nobody cares.
a woman is riding on.
No, see. Note this. It's not actually the woman taking the decision. It's like men considering women because they are women.
The thing is,
It's not.
institutionalized,
No, it
yes.
has been the problem.
That's
is
been
it has been
institutionalized.
institutionalized.
So it's not about the man.
It's about
It's
the
about
society.
the way institutions are being.
That was what I was saying about paternity leave. It
It's
is
about the
now
institutions
that
are
because of the way the society is taking it, that is why you can even have the 2 weeks leave.
I don't
The
think
2 weeks paternity leave.
I don't think 2 weeks
Before,
is enough.
you don't.
for
Omo, if I say now I go appreciate it.
I was having a conversation. Do you know that I was having a legit real life argument with somebody that men have postpartum depression, and somebody was arguing with me that
I was there that day. It was funny.
men cannot have postpartum depression. Why? Because postpartum means after
Bet.
birth, and men do not give birth. Legit point, right? But then
Maybe the name you actually gave it was
But
the
then-
wrong thing.
the introduction of a child into a family
Affects both parents.
can fuck anybody up.
Sure.
Father,
It
mother,
messes up your entire dynamics. If they bring the
It
baby
changes
to stay with
everything.
you,
It
not
changes
just that,
everything. Yeah.
They just bring the baby to stay with you for a month. You can lose your mind. Legit.
Sure.
You become a slave. You know, babies. I call them crackheads.
They are extreme narcissists to me. They
are-
don't
are
care about
the worst
anybody.
narcissists. Because they just cry.
you don't know why they are crying.
Sometimes they don't even have a reason. You get?
A baby might want to sleep.
No,
and
the most annoying part is you have to discover that reason.
They get all your attention. They are the, if you want to experience narcissist behavior, look at people. They require all your attention. They don't care. Now that dynamic can fuck you up beyond measure.
Male or female.
Male or female. So while I understand the person's argument about the nomenclature, it's just semantics. What we are arguing about here is that the introduction of that child is a major issue. Now, if we bring this back to the conversation, you can't expect me. I've not been, especially new time fathers. I've not done this shit before. This is the first time I'm having a baby that I'm responsible for 100%. I am coming to work. I am working in a very sensitive environment where just a comma can cause issues. I am sleep deprived.
Because my wife expects me, you can take over the responsibility of the child from 8 p.m. to
I bear all
5
that.
a.m.
I bear all that. Do not complain. Crash on the sofa, sleep on the way home, all that. But I see my colleague, that is a woman, get caught all the slack.
How does that make you feel?
It doesn't make you feel good. I'm serious. It doesn't make. But the thing is, again, it has been institutionalized. So when you see these things, you just shrug them off. Yeah, you just shrug them off.
Going by the whole issue of pay, do you think women deserve to be paid equally as men on the same role? Considering the fact that their efficiency is mostly lower than men.
I think you deserve to be paid what you bargain. Male or female. That is my own personal
Okay,
perspective.
let's say from your take now, let's say I'm trying to gain an employment. You own a company and I'm coming to your company. I'm a woman, for instance. I'm coming to your company now. I'm bargaining. Generally, there's this consensus that women don't bargain when it comes to job.
Yes.
They bargain lower. Now I'm trying to bargain. Definitely, I'm not going to bargain like the right price that I feel like I want. I'm a woman. I'm not going to bargain the right price that I feel like I want. Then I resume the job. The same amount I'm being paid. Another man is being paid the same amount, and that man is working 2 times or 3 times more than the kind of work I am as a female doing. Do you think that kind of man, if he sees that scenario, do you think he's going to be happy about such situation?
And the man is
And do you think what can be done to it?
and the man is being paid more.
No, they are being paid the same amount of money.
When it comes to employment, right, there are different ways. Some companies have, you can't back in some companies, they have what they want to pay.
Because there is a pay structure.
If you don't want to collect it, you go.
There is a pay structure.
Some companies have pay structure. For example,
So why do they ask when you go for an? Because me, I've never been to an interview
It
before.
depends on the
Depends
that's what
on
I'm
the
trying to say.
organization.
If you work in
Depends on the
if you work in
organization.
a multinational or you work with the government, they have a pay structure, a consolidated salary structure. It's not negotiable.
Okay.
You get man, woman, ox, donkey.
To work
Get
with
paid
grades.
the same salary.
On which grade are we hiring
Right.
this person?
And in that level, for example, if you work in an institution like you work for the government, you can't complain your way to a higher pay. You can't
nag your
nag
way
your
to
way
it.
to a higher pay. There's no HR for you to go and meet. You cannot go and meet the governor. You understand? So you cannot go and meet the president. So you take your pay, you go to your house. And it is in such institutions that you see the work gap really mad, because everybody knows that whatever happens, I'll get my pay. Right? And if you do more work than me, you won't get more pay than me. It is worse in such organizations, except in an organization where hard work is being rewarded, right? But in most private firms, from my experience in Nigeria, they will ask you, how much do you think we should pay? You say 200,000. If they are God fearing and they have a budget of 250, when you enter, they can be paying you the 250 if they like you. But most of the time, they will pay you that 200.
Well, the issue of the equal pay. Do you think women actually deserve being paid equally?
For me personally, I don't think it matters your gender when it comes to pay. I think it matters.
Considering the fact that they take more maternity leave, maybe a situation happens family wise, they will still give them leave. But as a man, you might not even be given that kind of leave. irrespective of whatever, according to you guys, irrespective of whatever you're actually passing through as a man in your family or your home, you won't be given any kind of leave. So, considering the amount of days or weeks or months at which women actually take leaves of work, and they are still being paid the same amount of work as the same amount of salary at which a man is being paid, do you think it actually creates balance, or there's a bit of unfair scale of preference there?
I feel it is unfair. It is very unfair. But then, again, the world is what it is. Whether we like it or not, there are things that favor women and there are things that favor men.
There are very little things. Sorry to cut. There are very little things that favor men nowadays. Very little thing. Very little.
Now, in a case like this, I feel it is very unfair for me to earn the same amount with someone that will go on 3 months maternity leave, will not be anywhere near the office. Because when you are on maternity, it is expected that you are completely off work, but you are still earning. Now, I will be in the office. In most cases, I will have to take your own work, take your responsibility, add it to mine. I will now be judged by my responsibility and your own.
Wait, does it come with any extra pay?
With no extra pay.
Oh, gosh.
So I feel it is very okay. Now let me put it this way for better context. We are a team of 3. No, let me even use a team of 2. A guy, a woman. Now you get pregnant, you give birth. Automatically, 3 months leave. Now I'm going to use a sales role to buttress my point. We have been given a target of 3 billion to meet before the end of the year. We are already in September. You are already on 3 months leave, which means you'll be away for October, November, December. The whole responsibility of the target is now on me because you are away.
And she will still be paid the same
now,
salary.
She will be earning, if the role is a flat pay, she will still be earning the same amount. If it is commission based, she will still be earning a base salary. But for me, if it is a flat pay, we'll be earning the same thing, but I'm doing our work. If it is commission based, of course she's still earning her base pay. Me, I'm earning my base pay and commission. Now,
do you think
that means I am doing the work of 2 people while earning the salary of 1 person?
I have a question.
Okay.
Do you think that it is about the length of time? For example, now, if you happen to say, I go, guy, this weekend, I don't go come on Friday, cover me. Share you get.
Okay.
That can happen.
That is, I mean, the 3 months is too much. Now, I'm looking at it from a guy's perspective. I'm not looking, if I look at it from a woman's perspective, I will say, oh, of course, 3 months is not even enough. A baby is a lot to handle. I mean, but then I'm looking at it from a guy's perspective. I'm looking at it from the lens of the colleague that has to bear the burden of your absence. It is too much for me. It is too much weight for me to carry. It is too much burden. Now, it's not even like as if when I'm doing the work, I will still earn something extra on it. I'm not. I will still be earning my salary. Same salary.
Guys, I think maybe there should be a body that actually creates these rules for company that force it on them to strictly obey it. I think there should be because should I tell you something? No company is independent. There is a bigger body that's actually in control that is making everything.
In the sense that, see, in some organizations, right, especially in a fast-paced environment, that's why I said it's multidimensional. I've worked in fast-paced environment that if you don't come to work for 2 weeks, you will not meet that job when you come back. You are gone.
Which kind of environment is that?
If you work in
there are jobs and there are
crazily
jobs.
target-oriented business where the business is being run by a maniac that only cares about targets, numbers.
Outcome.
It's numbers.
If you go for 2, you will not make that job. Now,
Does advertising business fall into something like that?
yeah,
Yes.
most of the time before.
It's a fast-paced
Advertising,
market. Sales.
most of all
marketing.
sales businesses,
Sales businesses
generally sales businesses.
That is
You don't see sales people go on market. It's rare because they know.
So that means such an enterprise, they don't usually like employ women.
It's rare.
It is
It's
to
rare.
Or
their
maybe
disadvantage.
they will employ young women that they know that.
Yes,
okay,
that is why there are some
It's rare.
roles that they will tell you that they are looking for single women.
It's rare.
Do you get? They will tell you they are looking for single women
It's rare
because
for
they
you to see-
understand that once you get married, there is already a distraction.
But sales is different. You see real estate sales, you can even do it. All these real estate,
Yeah.
you can still do it married. FMCG, you want to sell blade.
Want to sell biscuits.
People blade have distributors now. You want to sell blade. You want to sell gala. You want to sell ogogoro. You want
It's
to sell.
crazy.
You are now.
You hardly see women in that line. You hardly see
Because it
women.
is very fast. So that's what I'm saying is multidimensional. And to be sincere, again, if we are not having this conversation about the workplace, I would have advocated for women that getting pregnant is a part of life, right? You should not lose a job because you got pregnant. I can make that argument, but that is not the conversation we are having. You understand? The conversation we are having makes it nonsensical for you to go,
2 adults.
for you to go for a period of 3 months, come back, and I bear all your responsibilities without
any extra pay.
any extra. It makes it nonsensical.
And it is still that same gender that will still be talking about gender pay gap. That is the ironic part.
No, the thing is, women are very selfish human beings.
No.
I'm not trying
When it comes
to
gender
see
pay gap,
it's.
I think it used to be an issue, but I don't think that it is currently an issue. Do you know why? Because number one, I have realized that when it comes to employment, I have realized that most of the women that I know that are close to me, when they want to go for interviews, I talk to them, I say, guy, this is the amount you should tell them you want to collect. And they think that it's too much, they will not give me the job. Like, even forget interviews, even when a woman is doing a business, she's rendering a service, most of the time, and you tell her, bill this person 500k. There's this
fear that comes into play.
500k.
Yeah, the money is too much.
We go do rubbish for you.
700k.
You go do rubbish. Confidently, you go bill you 600k. Because that 600k wey dey bill you back, he has added, if I first fix this motor, if I buy rice for house, so he has added everything. Change it. So when you're telling him 650,
So to you, that means women billing men is like based on their own need, personal need.
everybody
They are not adding
Extra responsibility to that
yes, there's
charges.
the hierarchy of needs. According, you will bill me for a service according to your needs. Unless you have, I was talking to Anu the other day, and I told him, he was talking to, and the person, he wanted to get a service, and the person sent him a rate card. No money of a guy. When somebody is sending you rate cards, of a guy, because when you send me a rate card, and you are saying that your for 100 people, I should pay 600k, and you now tell me, yeah, let's negotiate. But yeah, how much should I negotiate 600k? How much? 500.
Maybe that's the least you might be able to
You
go
understand?
because you don't want to sound like.
You want to, but actually that service can go for 300. Right. So the first reason why, in my own experience again, why there's this disparity in pay is that most women don't know how to bargain, and I'm not even sorry to say.
No, that's the truth. Actually, they don't. Most
They don't know how to bargain. It's not bargaining. We are not buying clothes. You understand? It is service, and unless you see a woman that has been with hardcore guys, you get, they really don't know how to bargain. That's the first thing. The second thing is value addition. You get, and value proposition. When you talk to guys in the workplace, there's one guy that is employed as sales. He drives the car himself. The sales van, he drives it. So if he's going to deliver, he unloads and loads. You understand? Our business now, we are selling condoms. Now, condoms might look that they are not heavy until you have to carry it in packs. Yeah, if you say a condom, until you have to carry a box of condom, you understand that it is
A carton of condoms.
Yes. So now we are selling condoms. I am employed as sales manager to cover the west or the southwest. Maybe I'm to cover Lagos, Ogun, and Oyo. They gave me a pickup truck. I am the driver of that pickup truck, number one. I am the mechanic of that pickup truck.
I am the loader.
I am the one that will load.
I'm the one that will
When I get to where I want to, when I get to where I want to deliver, I am the one that will unload. Oh yeah, employ a woman. If you employ a woman for that role,
No, they won't even bother. They won't even bother going for such roles.
So when you now
They won't
come to
even
that
bother
kind
going
of
for such
environment,
roles.
You're not telling me gender pay gap. It is not gender pay gap. People employ people based on needs. That's why you don't see male receptionists. How many organizations have you entered now?
Besides, women.
Now see male
From the way I see it, looking from outside, Jai, from the way I see looking from outside, women love working environments that's actually soft and stressless. They don't want to like put themselves in stressful situation that you have to
earn as much
as you as a guy that's doing all the
risk
work.
you are taking is lower. Why should you earn as much? That is why I have issues with these people. This recent topic about where female footballers should be earning as much as male footballers. It is one of the dumbest arguments in the world.
It's very stupid.
I've never
It's very
seen
stupid argument.
more dumb argument than that in my entire
Very stupid argument.
Because a male team is playing now, it will fill up a whole stadium, a 70,000 capacity, 80,000 capacity.
They are
Filled
not
to the
playing.
brim.
They just want to
In fact, to unveil
player.
Ronaldo,
Player.
Madrid filled up their stadium and
not playing anything.
I know now.
I think it had like 1 billion streams.
We see it on with Ronaldo, with Neymar, and then
Well,
Kobe.
I don't know which team.
Dybala.
Dybala.
It was like
Dybala, AS Roma now.
It was
like they were unveiling a god.
Now, I've
Yes.
never seen the unveiling of Khadija Shaw.
Who is Khadija?
In my life, I've never seen.
See, no, even besides that, look at it. When you look at female stadium, we are female football. Look at who is in their stadium. Mostly men. You won't see their fellow women there.
Exactly. So it's still the men that will still come out and watch.
Based on value.
So why will you now be arguing?
Even them, their fellow women would rather watch a man playing football than watch female playing football. Because to them, it's not interesting.
If she knows Rapinoe, she does not. Ask her if she knows Ronaldo. She
Definitely, they do.
The argument is this: if you are offering the same value, you understand?
Yeah, you earn the same.
And the same pay.
But do you think that is possible?
In some organizations, for example, now, if you are working as, say, you work as a teacher, right? It is possible to offer
same.
I don't think so.
It is very possible.
But in the long run, it will still not be the same.
It won't be.
You have to be away for a term when you deliver.
Besides that,
3 months is a term.
That
You are
is a
away
different
for a
argument.
term.
That is the different. I'm not talking about employment is a very broad field, right? There's the value, then there's the time you spend
Giving
that
the value. Okay.
You get. So if you are talking about when you go away, you are no longer talking about the value. You're talking about the time spent giving that value. Do you understand? But there is the core value that you are giving itself. Do you understand? So if we give the same value, yes, it is going to be unfair if you are not paid the same.
But can you ever give the same value?
It is possible. The problem is that
Gabriel, I want you to argue for to discuss on the possibility of earning the same value and the possibility of not.
It is very possible. It depends on the system. Let me give you an example. I ran a business once and I had 2 workers, a male and a female, and I was selling, so I had a shop. So they will come, they sell. You get. Now, in that kind of instance, you realize that they are not doing anything. Their job is to come, watch over the product, and sell. No, and I'm not requiring. They are not doing
Any extra work, anything.
Just come and sit down in the shop. In that kind of instance, you are giving me the same value. As long as you come 8 o'clock and you close 9 o'clock, or you close 10 o'clock, or you close 12 o'clock, you shall close when I say you should close. Finish.
But
Now,
but
I have
Gabriel,
some- I have
it's a
something
small
against
scale.
that.
It's on a small scale though.
Yeah,
Let's
on
look
a
at
small
a
scale.
bigger scale.
Now, if you want to look at the bigger scale, I worked in an organization where value is consistent. Do you understand? Now, in that kind of scenario, it is possible. However, there are a lot of innuendos. For example, now,
Gabriel. Let's try agree for the other part. Let him talk about the other part.
Okay, now on the smaller scale, like you mentioned, biology will come in. Now, this is what I mean. You hired a guy and a girl, right? They are to resume 8 a.m. every day and close 5 p.m. every day. Now, I know there are now organizations that excuse women who are having their period cramps.
That's it, then.
Yes, there are organizations that
In Nigeria now.
Yes, there are bosses that allow you once they notice that you are in pain, because there are women that experience serious pains during their
Yeah,
period.
that's true.
So once they notice you are in pain, they excuse you to go to the hospital or something to take care of yourself. Now, in that instance, on the smaller scale that you have mentioned, they are not giving equal value. If the female staff is in that kind of a situation where she has heavy cramps and all of that she has to leave the place of work because she's no longer productive. So she's no longer, even if she is there, she's no longer productive. It is the guy that will do the work.
but the guy
So they are no longer giving the same value.
the guy too can fall sick.
Now, the probabilities, you as a person, you know it yourself that the probability of a lady falling sick is higher than that of a guy.
Yeah, that's
This
true.
is
And even if a guy is sick,
you
like you can still endure and be productive.
You are not sick.
You are not sick. You can still endure and be productive.
So even that's in the smaller scale. In a larger percentage, let's broaden this thing out. We have a staff strength of 800. I'm going to use where I work. I'm not going to mention this, but where I work, let's say I'm just assuming the numbers. We have a staff strength of 800. There are more females than male, so I'm going to give the females 500 out of 800. That leaves the guys with 300. Now, you have pregnant women, 200 or 100. Let me reduce it. Let me even reduce to 50. You have pregnant women, 50. You have women with cramps, blah blah blah, another 100 out of 500. That is 1.
Not 50.
Now, the ones that are pregnant will deliver. That is 3 months off.
Gone.
The ones that have cramps, that is maybe a day, 2, 3 days,
5
off,
days.
5 days off. Now, the guys would have to cover for those women. Now, I'm going to assume that maybe in a particular branch of that organization, they have, I said 500 to 300. So let me just say they have a staff strength of 10 in each branch. 7 are women.
Okay.
3 are guys. They have 2 pregnant people, 2 people that have cramps. That is 4. 4 is out already, out of a staff strength of
10.
So you only have 6.
I mean, 3 guys
How
remaining,
are those people
3
who are
girls.
away giving the same value as those who are present?
Again,
They are not. In whatever context you want to put it, I'm telling you they are not.
that is why some organizations clock you and they clock out.
Now,
So that
this
means
because
it depends on the
Now,
organization.
Because they understand that value and time should determine pay.
how many of such organizations do we have in Nigeria?
That's an institutional problem.
So we are talking about no. I'm using
See,
Nigeria.
that
as
is
an
why-
instance.
that
That's
is-
why I'm breaking
okay,
it
I
down
want
like
you to
this.
learn before
I'm
I
using
listen.
Nigeria as an instance. Yeah, that's why I took time to break it down. Our pay structure is salary based, not wages. We don't pay per hour.
We pay per month.
So now, if we are paying per month, it means we are not able to prorate your work hours down to the number of hours you have been able to work.
If you are being paid per month, that means that the organization does not care the time. They are paying you for the value.
Okay, so now I'm now putting it to you
If you
now
are paid
that
wages is they are looking at the work you've done. and the time you've spent
Doing
Doing
it.
it that way.
salary is that this is what we expect from you, get it done.
Okay.
So a salary structure is paying you because you have the value.
But have you delivered that value?
If you don't deliver it in a normal salary structure, by the time they
that-
pay you for like 3 or 4 months,
That is why I said
Now you
earlier.
will now start having issues with what do they call
that's
this
an
people?
entirely different conversation.
See,
now.
see,
It's
see.
not.
Hold on,
It's
hold on,
impact-
hold on.
If I
That
employ you
is
in
that is
my
why
company,
that is why I
male or
said.
female, and I pay you salary for 3 months.
Okay.
You tell me that you give me this value, and based on that value that you've told me, I employ you and I pay you salary. I carry my money and I give you for the value that you're supposed to give me.
Okay.
And at the end of the first quarter, I look at your value and I say, get out now.
And you realize
See.
that same person just gave birth. That is why she has not been able to.
That is why I said
No,
earlier.
what do you-
It's
Gab-
foolish for me to see
Gabriel.
somebody that is heavily pregnant.
Gabriel.
About to pop out the child, and I'm employer now.
But you also know pregnancy is not planned. This person might be married, she might not even want the pregnancy at that time. Hold on, I'm telling you, if you hire someone now, you are not hiring for, in most cases, you are not hiring for the short term. You are hiring for the long term. So you hire me today. We are in August. You hire me in August. I'm single. By next month, I tell you that I want to get married. After 3 months, you start noticing bomb. What do? Do you fire me because I'm pregnant?
Listen, this is the argument.
You don't.
This is the argument. Chill. You get employed. You get pregnant. Now, if I employ you to give me value, and there is no justification. See, if you get pregnant and you are going on that's why they give you maternity leave, so that in that time of that maternity leave, we don't expect value from you. Go. But if you are pregnant and there's nothing wrong with you, I still demand my value. So you don't understand.
I will still give you.
Gabriel, hold on. Gabriel. See, from what you just said right now, I know I actually have experience dealing with pregnant women before.
A lot in the workplace.
And do you now think pregnant women actually give 100%
Baba, it
productivity
depends
or
on the
efficiency?
boss. It depends on the boss.
See, even
I'm coming. Now,
even if hold on, before you continue, even if the boss is extremely strict, there is a way at which a pregnant woman will actually pretend.
it depends on the
It
boss.
does not even have to be.
It depends on the boss.
But again, there is
Because you don't know what is going on inside, and you don't want to be accused of something
It
wrong.
depends on the boss. It depends on the woman. It depends on the environment. Now, if you are working in, again, a fast-paced environment, I've seen women hide their pregnancies.
Okay, because of their salary, because they don't
you
want
know
to
that
lose the job.
If you lose guard in this environment and you don't deliver, you will not come back and meet that job. It is not like they're being wicked.
But hold on. That fast-paced environment, how many women are there in that fast-paced environment?
That's why you don't see a lot of women.
That is why I'm telling you, because most of them won't actually want to go into that
That's
space.
why you don't see a lot of
See.
women there.
Personally, I don't have experience working with pregnant women, but I have experience dealing with women that are pregnant, and I can tell you for sure, if a woman is pregnant, let's say a 6-month-old pregnant woman, there is nothing you can do if she complains that I have back
And you go to
pain.
your house now.
But then she's not productive. She's not being efficient.
No, you are not getting it. This is the argument. The argument is value. See,
How is she providing value if she's
that's
not?
what I'm explaining. See, you don't. The reason why I'm saying this is because I have worked with women that forget they sabi. If you sabi wetin you dey do, baba, no organization will say that because you are pregnant, you are no longer giving value. Do you understand? Pregnancy, but
See,
Where-
value before pregnancy and value during pregnancy is different.
it's not different.
Okay.
See, this is where I have a conflict. This is where there is a conflict.
I will tell a story. I will tell a story when you are done.
Conflicting issue. You see, if I want to argue against, this is where there is a conflicting issue. Women claim that pregnancy is not a disease. When they want to talk about the fact that
When it favors them.
it is unfair to let a woman
When it favors them.
they claim that
Mhm.
pregnancy is not a disease. But when they want to use it to their advantage, they claim that pregnancy has symptoms that can limit them. Do you understand? When they want, they can. Women have they have the best of both worlds. They can argue that pregnancy does not limit them, and they can also give you arguments that pregnancy is the limiting factor.
The only time they will argue that pregnancy does not limit them if they know that pregnancy will favor them in that situation.
Now,
in that scenario,
workplace, you cannot judge a woman because she's pregnant. You cannot say that. You cannot demand less from her. I'm serious. You cannot demand less from her because she's pregnant. I'm coming now. If the woman knows that she can do it and get away with it, fine. But you do not. I will not say that because you are pregnant, you will not give me my report.
Yeah.
If you know that you cannot combine both, that the health of your health status cannot allow you to do the job efficiently, leave the job. When you give birth,
this argument you are giving,
it sounds so easy.
No.
It's theoretical. It sounds so easy. Practice it doesn't work. Okay, let me tell you. Okay, when you are done, I'll give you another example.
I've worked with pregnant women. In fact, as it is, I'm still working with pregnant women, and I can tell you for a fact that when a pregnant woman tells you that she's feeling this way, she's not feeling strong enough, she's having these symptoms, maybe her back is paining her, she can't sit for so long, blah blah blah, you have to let her go.
You have to.
Because if you don't let her go home, if anything happens to her,
It's on you.
she will be held responsible. Now, where the problem is that we are a team of two. We are supposed to meet one high network customer today that this back pain is showing up. Now, we are supposed to present. You have been tasked with, getting the presentations together, the facts and everything, and you are supposed to lead the presentation. Now, you are having this issue. So now, I'm not expected to go in alone. Now, the issue now is the management would not consider the fact that your partner had health issues that day if you do not deliver. They will not put it into consideration that his partner was having medical issues, let's excuse them. They won't. You will get queried for losing that contract or for losing that customer if you do. And also, if you do not and you win it, she will get praise for it. Because it is a teamwork. The praise will go to the two of you. If you lose it, meanwhile, she was not even involved in the entire process.
Wait.
In that
Gabriel.
case, where is the value when she was needed? Like when the value was needed, was she there to give that value? Now, where I'm going to is the fact that you said if she's not giving you that value, you should let her go. Now, in the world that we find ourselves
in this
now,
modern world,
this type of issues are very, very sensitive, right? And you as a man, you are at a disadvantage in this kind of situation. One, if you speak up that this role we are working together is too fast-paced for a pregnant woman, they will tell you that you are a misogynistic man. Why do you think pregnancy is limiting a woman? If you leave her to do the work with you and she has medical issues that she urgently needs to attend to, and you are saddled with the responsibility alone and you don't deliver, it will still be on you that why could you not deliver? If you report to the HR, they will tell you have to manage yourselves, manage the situation. Meanwhile, you as a man, you are giving everything you have, but she is limited already, whether she accepts it or not, or which you not accept it that she's limited because she's a feminist, and pregnancy should not limit a feminist in the original sense. So what do? Now let me now tell you, if you are now so unlucky that the HR is also a feminist, they will tell you that what you are doing is unfair. What you are doing is unfair. What you are doing is unfair. Can't you see that she's a woman, so you are trying to tell us that she's incapable? You become the enemy of the HR. Your scorecard is suffering. You are losing on both sides.
I have a very similar experience, but this is not workplace. But There was this old friend of mine that was heavily pregnant. I was about to give birth. All of a sudden, she called me around like 12:30 a.m. the middle of the night. Please just come down. Her husband then was a soldier, but till now that he's still a soldier. The
And
man,
it's not available.
he was not available. The man called me instantly to say that, yeah, please, please. Okay, I had to go into the barracks, pick up the woman, take her down to the hospital. On getting to the hospital, we met a receptionist. The receptionist told us to actually go and meet the woman seated in front there. That she's a nurse. She will attend to us. She's the one in charge for the night. We got there and she was pregnant. So at least from the way I could see it, at least I think she was like 5 or 6 months pregnant then. And the kind of attitude she gave. And I'm like, Madam, this woman is in labor. Can you please just kindly attend? She was like, I'm pregnant too. Our pregnancy is not different from her. There was one thing I couldn't know what to say. Like, I just shut up and I went back to the reception. Like, please, can you just give us another nurse to attend to us?
That is the person now.
Can you imagine that kind of situation? If she wasn't pregnant, and there are women that okay, in that kind of situation, and there are women that even without pregnancy, you actually go into an hospital, they might actually be on their period. They will be naturally cranky to you, no matter how nice you are. See, I made it a duty of mine whenever I enter a bank about 6 or 7 years ago. I think there was a person I was telling, I don't know if it's you, Jai, I don't know. There was a person I was telling that there was a time I entered the bank, like 7 or 8 or 9 years old, and years ago, she was extremely rude customer. There was a pile of people right in front of her, and she was extremely rude customers. I think it was laughing what I saw. I can't remember vividly. Then I sat in front of her when it was my turn, and I gave her what I needed to do. I explained issues to her, and she told me it was none of her business. I was shocked, like, what's going on? None of your business. You work here. Then it's none of her business. I should just stand up. And she was very cranky. I had no other option. I went to the male guy that sat beside her, and I was like, bro, what is going on with her? She was like, don't worry, what do I need? The guy attended to me. After that day, I made it like my duty to, anytime I meet a woman doing anything, that she's going to attend to me. The first thing I ask him, how are you? How has been your day? You look nice today. I'll actually try to pamper her to make her feel good so she can give me a good service back in return.
You are paying twice. You are paying with.
Because otherwise she's going to, I don't know, like, you can meet a woman at any kind of mood that you won't be able to predict. Now, going back to the hospital scenario, do you think that kind of scenario, if it was a male nurse I met there, will she attend to me that way?
Now, this is what I would say. You know that when you're talking about this whole argument, that it's similar to working with a sick person.
A sick man won't attend to you that way.
I can't. It's similar to working. I'm coming. It's similar to working with somebody that has a sickness that is like maybe like working with an asthmatic person. Do you understand? Now you are, for example, in the construction industry, and your partner is asthmatic, and you are both guys. Anything can happen. It's the same thing. This is where it becomes an
I don't
It's
take
the
to
same
that.
thing.
It's
Because
not.
if the guy falls sick, he has to go. You can't say that. He can't be having an
But do you know that guy that is sick? Hold on, Gabriel. Do you know that guy that was sick? We acknowledge the fact that he's sick. Something is wrong. And if anybody comes to actually request his service, he's not going to like put all his problem on that person or make the person feel like.
That one is an individual.
No, okay. So should I tell you why it's not an individual thing? Because a sick person, they actually needs money to finance his own health, that knows that I have responsibilities beyond me, and knows that this person coming to meet me has something to give me that will benefit my family at home. Won't ever react in any negative way to the person coming at him. Will think twice before he reacts in any kind of.
I think that.
Okay. Let me give you another illustration. Planks. I know people that sell planks. Me myself too. Partially, I do it. I'm about to sell planks or deliver a contract to somebody because okay, maybe I have one kind of like you said, maybe I'm asthmatic, and when it comes to planks, there's dust everywhere. Then I know a contractor that is bringing a contract to meet me, and he's telling me, okay, this contract is worth 63 million naira. Will I use me being asthmatic to actually make that contract fall through?
Hey, that's you now.
Even besides me, another man in my position,
See,
another man in my position won't
this is
ever
what
try
I
it.
realized.
But a woman would like before she can actually put herself together because her hormones are in play. Before she can put herself together, if that man says, if the person bringing in contract says anything that is like maybe disrespectful in any little way, she might flare up.
This is what I've realized from this whole conversation. Number one thing I realized is that this particular issue we are dealing with is nuanced. You are going to relate it from your bias. You get my own bias
Well,
is that I have worked with very efficient women, very like super efficient women, and when it comes to efficiency, bah,
sorry, before and they had nothing that will actually reduce their productivity.
no, very productive women. Even
Okay.
when they
Well, like those women are vastly experienced in that field.
very expensive.
Okay, see, that's another thing. That's
Very
another thing.
Now, when it comes to working with women, generally, I don't have an issue with their productivity. I have an issue with their adaptability and the way they handle issues, the way they resolve conflicts.
Gabriel, you are working with experienced women.
So maybe that's why I'm saying that my bias. So when it comes to how they can work, I don't have any problem. But when it comes to how they adapt and how they handle conflict, I have major issues. Because now woman go dey follow what
I have an experience with how
what happens with women. I've not seen that happen with me.
how they solve conflict.
How
I have
they
an
solve
experience with that.
conflict.
I would like to tell the story again.
It is very I will tell you a very short story. It is very crazy. I worked with a woman, a female boss, who okay, this is how it happened. This woman was our company partner. So basically she had the ears of the CEO. So one day I came to meet her and I said, "Man, listen, I'll give you two short stories that made my experience with men very, very funny." I came to her and said, "Sir, ma, I was working as the environmental health and safety officer." So I came to her and said, "Ma, I noticed that the drainage in front of the office is clogged. I think we should evacuate it." I was the one that came to tell her. And as I was talking to her, she opened her laptop and started typing on her laptop. I thought she was drafting maybe another report or something. I was the one that I was still in her office. And a mail came into my phone. And she messaged me, said, "Hello, Gabriel. Please, why have we not evacuated?" Why have we not evacuated the drainages in front of the office? This is a safety. I can never forget that email. This is a safety concern.
And you are the one saddled
And
with the
you are-
responsibility.
She made me look very bad. Something that I came to tell you. And she copied everybody. Next thing, CEO replied, "This is a great oversight."
She CC'd everybody.
Every fucking body that was anybody. Mufo. I was in, like, bro, I was right in front of her. I now replied to the email. I said, "Ma," I said, "as discussed, please note that I brought this to
So
your
you're
attention.
noticed.
And I am currently in front of her. We're doing email war in front of each other. Something that you can,
Just have the
sometimes you can have a conversation." That was the first thing. This same person, another day. So we used to have this thing in the office where TGIF thing where we buy, sometimes we buy chicken, sometimes we buy ram. Everybody sits in the office, jollificate, shayu, normal Friday, paro. So the woman that day they said we should go and buy pig. That they want to do asun, pork asun. So this woman called me, said, "Gabriel, you know where they are selling pork. You know Okearu very well." And I say, "Help us follow them so that you can mediate and all that." Then she said, I said, "What car should we take? Should we take the van so that we can put the pig?" They said, "No, the van is not available. Take the Corolla." I can never forget this incident. Take the Corolla. I was like, Corolla. She said, don't worry, go, go, go. So I took the Corolla. Imagine using a Corolla to carry pig.
Wait. The same Corolla.
Corolla.
06 Corolla.
Yes. As
To
at that
carry
time.
pig.
Yes. So we put the pig at the back of the Corolla in the boot. We spread the nylon, put the pig. Then we didn't cover the boot. We just drove from Okearo to Lekki. We just drove. We got to the office. As we drove into the office, the CEO was coming out. He saw us. Come and see, shout. Can your father? I can never forget that. Can your father? Number one, it was a toxic environment. So it was like, can your father buy a Corolla, this kind of car, and you will use it to go and carry pig? I didn't even get angry because
I will say the same thing. I won't lie.
You understand? His anger was very justified. The man, para. I was not explaining that, sir. Number one, I cannot take that car without this woman's consent. Do you know that this woman denied it? With her life. Issue number 2. Issue number 3. Me and this person will talk like this. We have conversations. I will give you idea. I think we should do this thing like this. I think we should, if we do it like this, it will get better. My idea. You now send a mail during my research about how to enhance productivity, and the woman is very eloquent. To back comment for a while. So, and it was all because of conflict. You get it was because of conflict. We had beef, but I've had beef with male colleagues, and the beef is you can't even if I'm eating.
It does not even last.
It doesn't even last. Even if it lasts, it doesn't get to the point of sabotage. Right? It doesn't get, see, if you have a beef with a female colleague, I see that they go all out. That's my issue. That's my own personal issue. They go all out. They can fuck you up in ways you cannot imagine.
Guys, let's move on because
The next one. What do you think about age gap situation between a male and female in the workplace? Age gap relationship between a male and female in the workplace.
I don't think I've ever had issues with age.
Let's say the
in
woman
any
is much
environment.
more older than you and you're like a subordinate or you're a senior.
I've,
How do you undo that kind of relationship?
It's because of the environment where you work.
I've never had.
Baba, you work in an environment
So
where
a private environment. I think,
I think it doesn't matter
by
in the
name,
private because you guys go first name basis.
So
So,
there's no seniority
if
or
you
minority.
work in a first name
There's
basis
seniority,
organization.
but then you working on.
Can you call your boss by name?
I don't.
But organization
but you are supposed to.
It's
But
a first
I
name
don't,
basis organization.
and that is because of my personal this thing. I don't.
Whether male or female.
Yes, I don't. I don't call any of my bosses by their first name. I
Okay,
prefer
how
to
about,
use.
How about the
I
ones
either-
you actually senior?
Even when I'm greeting people that I am their guy in the office, I still, as long as you are a woman, I will not ask you, I will not greet you Showa. I will tell you Shewa. That is the way I do my own. As long as you are a woman, I put, there's this Yoruba.
We no be guys.
There's this Yoruba way we greet that. It will show that you are showing respect. So I will never tell you Showa Alpha Shewa because you are a woman. But if I see a guy, of course, first name basis. Now, this is not supposed to be an issue in a normal world, but in Nigeria, people take age and gender seriously. There are men that consider women as genders who are below them, regardless of whether the person is their senior or their junior. It is not an issue for him. But again, people think like that. They think in that direction, which I consider very, very, very wrong. Let me just use that. Very wrong. Because we are just here to work. Everybody should just do their work and go. Give me my instructions. Let me do it, and I'll go. I'll give you your instructions. Do it. I'm very much about everybody knowing their role. Just do your part. Do your part and go. I'm also a fan of, you don't have to be friends at place of work. I'm not a fan. In fact, I don't want to be your friend, because once we become friends, bias will set in. I might not be able to give you the peace of my mind the way I want to give you if we become friends. I'll have to tell you softly, but we don't have to be friends. Let everybody, we will be cordial. Now that is where I have this thing. We will be cordial, but we don't have to be friends. Let everybody do their job. If you do your job the way you are supposed to do it, I swear to God you will love me, because I love when people do their job. Just do your job. I appreciate it a lot, because even when I dey do my job, I try not to like slack and make it affect other people. So anything you assign to me, I give it my best. I try my best to make sure that I'm doing my best. So when I give you something to do, do your best. As long as you are giving me your best, even if the result is not so evident in that moment, but I see that you are actually trying your best, I'm fine with it. We'll get the results will come.
Yeah, that's it.
Gabriel.
Age. Women, either they are older than you or younger than you, just give them space. Just respect them. Just avoid their wala. Just give them space. Give them sufficient respect. The way I deal with women in the workplace is I deal with them at shoulder length. We are close, but we are only shoulder length close. Why?
I just remember this story.
Because you cannot predict how they will react to issues, and it is office. If it is at home, they can mess you up.
You can never predict.
So I am cordial, like you said. I am cordial. I don't compliment their looks. I don't.
That is when
I
you start
don't
telling you
compliment
you are
You look
being
good.
unprofessional.
You
You are unprofessional.
No matter what you
you are
wear,
harassing
I
me.
don't compliment.
So that means you shouldn't when it's
I don't.
No.
I don't say you should do.
No, you can if you want.
If you
but
want
me,
to, you can.
I don't do it.
If you wear gold, I will not compliment your clothes. I will not say
If you like, go and buy.
I don't compliment that. I made it like a point of duty to myself. I don't compliment their looks. I don't compliment their weight. I don't compliment their size. I don't compliment anything. The only thing I compliment is you've done a good job. Well done. You cannot hear the only compliment you can hear from my mouth to a woman in the workplace is well done.
Now, going by what you guys have said now, do you think women coming into the workforce has helped increase productivity and made the workforce much more interesting?
There are women making strides, making giant strides in the workplace. So, like I always say, you cannot completely rule out their impact, because I mean, not only that I hear about it, I've seen women bring in brilliant ideas, take giant steps, do things that even some men did not think there was a way. They will still try to make ways there. But then I've also seen women that will be making headway like this, will be dragging you back. I've seen women that one of the things I hate most in my life is people that don't pay details to attention. I don't pay attention to details, sorry. It annoys me. That's the fastest way to annoy me in a workplace. Not paying. I've told you, this is how to do this thing. This is how to go about it. In fact, I will even go the extra mile of giving you a sample to work with. Then you bring back your own work.
And I didn't rubbish. God.
Because I've broken it down for you. I've made it easy for you.
I have stories for days.
Just do the little.
Bro.
Gabriel.
Stories for weeks.
Gabriel.
Oh,
Hold on. Farabale. Jai, to you now, you are trying to sit on the fence that you work with.
I'm not sitting on the fence. When I see a woman that
hold
is not
on.
doing enough, I will start.
Let me cut him.
Hold on. No, don't cut him. Hold on. Jai, so far so good. Do you think what your experience working with women? Which one, like, do you think women have increased the efficiency and productivity in your workplace? In your workplace.
Now, I will not say in my workplace. In the aspect of my workplace that I work.
In your own experience.
In my own experience, I prefer to work with men. But the funny thing is, in this new work, in my workplace presently, I've actually had a female boss that was fantastic. Just one.
That
person.
is one out of
Yes.
how many?
I've only had 2 female bosses.
No, don't let us
But
say
then
female bosses.
working with
I'm
female, there are so many females I've worked with, but I've only had one female boss that was fantastic.
Torí
She
ẹ
was
pé
excellent. Like even anytime I see her, like I respect her a lot. I respect her so much because she's fantastic. She knows the job. She knows what she's doing. But then, if I'm still given the option, let's say I'm removing her from the equation now. She's not available. You now give me other females to work with that have not seen the work of their hands. I prefer to work with a guy.
I work with a boss.
you
fact,
can't wait, have you?
There was a time on Twitter when everybody was shouting toxic boss, toxic boss. I worked there. And bro, sometimes when you see what people do, you want to just ask them,
How did you get to this place?
how did you leave your house?
Let us talk a bit more.
How did you even button your shirt? Because you are obviously an idiot. Now, you paid your money to go to a retreat. We lodged you in one of the best hotels, fed you, gave you comfort. You now come back. Oh yeah, write the report.
Right.
You write rubbish.
I mean, you cannot excuse that. You cannot.
When you were in school, I asked her, and this is what I'm saying, it was a very big issue. I asked her, when you were in school, and they say, write about how I spent my last holiday, do you copy people? Because
that one go make her flare up.
Because that is our business.
because ideally, if you can write, see people, I'm going to direct, people think education is a scam.
Yeah.
If you cannot write how I spent my last holiday, it is why you cannot go to a retreat
And write a
and write a report, because
Important.
it is the same concept.
The
It is
narrative
reporting.
is-
Now waiting you see, you guys write
You
down.
understand? It is
No big
reporting.
deal there.
So when
Yeah.
they tell you write about how I spent my last holiday in primary school, they are teaching you reporting.
reporting.
Baba Iton issue.
You rich.
Iton issue.
Because waiting you talk same go.
Now everybody was shouting, Mr. Oriyomi, you should not have said that. I waited. At the meeting, I showed them, I projected what she wrote.
At the expense of my own integrity.
Oh boy, she go hate you for
I
life.
projected what she, and I said that when
How
when
many
that,
of
when
you
that
here
issue
can
came
take
up,
it?
when that issue came up, I projected what I didn't even. I just told everybody to read it, and I kept quiet. People came to me and told me, "How have you been coping?"
Mostly guys.
Baba, this girl no sabi dog shit.
Wait, mostly guys came to you. How have you been coping?
Even women.
But
Let me tell you,
like most of them,
women
wait. They
women dey
won't.
shock
But
women.
hold on. But they won't do it in front of her.
Baba, let me tell
Wait,
you.
did they do it in front of her?
No.
Uh-huh.
Let me tell you something. Now, the funny thing is, people came to me and they said, Baba, how have you been coping? And do you know the funny thing? Even women did not want to work with her. So,
They actually understand her brain
I
capacity.
realized that if you even give women the opportunity to choose their staff,
They will never
most
choose
of them
one.
will choose men. Most of them.
Gabriel, let's just end it for today. And this is the end of today's podcast. Next week we'll continue from where we stop, and we'll continue with the role of women in the workplace, working with women in the workplace. Thank you. God bless.